content. After that, having some discussion for some 5 to 10 minutes, then we could move on to the sustainable development goal, that is reduce the inequality. Let me actually, in the very beginning, I told you that actually this fourth industrial revolution has brought, of course, for many decades now, changes has been taking place in the job market, but this is getting aggravated. The problem being getting aggravated for the last few years. As a part of it, in fact, I conducted a survey, collected primary data from about 400 students by taking the help of my students, just to explore the impact of education on career transition. Just let me present some brief highlights of this presentation, which just enable us to understand the gravity of the problem pertaining to employability in the market now. Actually, I collected primary data from 400 students, and this table, which is visible now, which is shown here, it is just it is a self-explanatory table which explains about the distribution of the sample respondents across the different levels of education, separately for the male and female. Here, this table, it highlights the occupational status of the respondents by education level. Here, the critical analysis of the table, the close pursuit of this table, it shows that the occupational status of the respondents, it definitely varies significantly across the different levels of education. Among those with education below pre-university courses, a large proportion, say you can observe, it is about 83.7% of the people are working, and only 16.3% of these respondents are homemakers, with no respondents still searching for job. Whereas for the respondents with the education level of diploma or ITI, about 81 to 81.8% of people are working, and 18.2% are homemakers. A notable shift is you can observe with the individuals with higher education levels. In particular, about 36.7% of the BA holders are still searching for job. I'm using the word are still searching for the job. In fact, this survey, I collected this data from the respondent who were in the age group of 34 to 37 years. They are still in search of jobs, while 51% are employed and 12.2% are homemakers. For BSc graduation holders, 57.9% are working, with some about 15.8% are still searching for job. See, what I wish to emphasize with this is, the employment rate is highest among those with the lowest education level. Those with the lowest education level. In the very beginning, I started with no education is better than irrelevant education. That just I mentioned. And in fact, with this, I think you can observe with this table that among those with no formal education, majority are doing agriculture or working agriculture labor. And the majority of the respondents with primary and secondary education, either involving in agriculture work or working as agriculture labor, and more than almost 1/4 of women with primary education are homemakers. And graduates exhibit greater occupational diversity Few BA holders engage in government jobs, agriculture and private jobs, while many still, 38% are still searching for jobs. So this actually, in fact, just I mentioned, one of the another important thing is just I used the word career transition. Actually, the duration of the career transition, which defined as the duration involved in shift from completion of education to employment. It has found to be, it varies significantly across the levels of education and gender. Among the respondents with education up to secondary level, all the respondent moved from their education to employment within 1 year. Whereas for diploma ITI holders, most males transferred within 1 to 3 years, whereas BA graduates face longer duration for transition, that is from education to employment, with notable proportion of male and female requires about 3 to 9 years just for searching the jobs. And more than that, I think it is this figure, it shows average duration for career transition. You can observe the number of years spent for searching a job. Just this figure shows the number of years spent just for searching the jobs. Actually, you could observe diploma ITI holders 2.6 years, BA 7.3 years, BSc 4.1 years, BCom 4.2 years. So this is how, through this, what I just wish to share with all of you is somewhere, that's what I mentioned. People with higher education, which is of not industry relevant, they're actually majority of them spending most of their time for searching job rather than doing jobs. This is how the market is now. And actually, there are many reasons for that. Actually, the stability and social recognition and the benefits are attached with the public sector jobs. They are highly attractive. That means majority of the respondents wish to get into only public sector jobs or government jobs. This preference created a risk aversion mindset which affect the diversity and creativity of the different individuals. Excessive focus on public sector roles, it drains the talents from private industries, startups, and growth sector. It leads to the skewed talent distribution. It has created a huge rush. You could observe that being economist, in majority of the people on this, I think in this platform, majority of you, almost all of you are from economics background only. You could analyze the fact that there is huge rush where there is lack of opportunity. And majority of the students from conventional universities and conventional courses are not concentrating towards the emerging job opportunities. Their focus is only on the public sector job roles. And it has created a new culture of registering for full-time course, but not regular to the classes. You might have observed, particularly in state of Karnataka, particularly in the middle part of Karnataka, the majority of the students, they registered for BA course, and they want to write only examination. They don't want to be regular to the classes because they are doing some kind of gig works. So this has created a new kind of culture among the student. This prolonged preparation for competitive examinations often waste the productive earlier career years. this high competition resulted in unemployment, underemployment among educated youths. So this, in fact, it has impacted on the entrepreneurship. Okay, with this, actually, this is some highlights of some field survey that I share to enlighten. I mean, just to share some of my field experience pertaining to the job market. Particularly, there is link between the demand for the course, particularly in economics, and also the job market. If we are trying to understand the job market, and if we understand the trends in it, we have to customize our courses to the changing requirement, and at least we have to put into some new ideas about how we can bring some change in our courses so that we can contribute to the development of our disciplines. In this backdrop, just I try to let me very quick to just to share some of the strategies for integrating fourth industrial revolution skills and sustainability development goals into economics teaching for sustainable future of the students who are aspiring for higher education in economics. It includes, say, we have to incorporate sustainable development goals, linked case studies. It may be climate economics, it may be circular economy, and incorporate fourth industrial revolution topics, which are, more in demand in the fourth industrial revolution period. It might be related to incorporation of AI related things in our curricula, data analytics, automation, digital finance, and also we need to give skill-oriented pedagogy. Focus on, actually, it's not the rote learning. We have to focus on critical thinking. We have to make the students, we have to train the economics aspirants to develop critical thinking among them. We have to expose to the problem solving environment. It may be through projects, or it may be through anything that, each individual teacher is unique. They will have their own style and strategies. Only thing you have to make them to train that brain in critical thinking, problem solving, systems analysis. Say, for example, you can ask them to just read the theories related to production function, and you can train them how to fit a production function in a bakery production, and how to analyze the input output relationship so that you can understand the resource use efficiency in a particular sector or a particular industry. Use simulation tools, gamified modules for real world economic scenarios. And we have to try to integrate technology into our teaching, apply data visualization, big data analytics, and econometric softwares. I know the grassroots level realities. I'm just explaining about the ideals. I'm showing the way how we could, I'm just showing the direction towards which we need to move. But I know that we have not yet started in this direction. And encourage the use of AI tools, blockchain, digital platform for applied projects. And also, you have to focus more on experiential project-based learnings. And students' projects aligned with sustainable development. Yes, we are assigning students to do some project on project reports. We could ask them to prepare that project on renewable energy economics, or many other concept related to sustainable development aspect. We can incorporate them on collaboration with industries and local communities. At least we can ask them to integrate their learning through the local communities. And we need to go for interdisciplinary approach, like link economics with environmental science, engineering, social policy, and we need to teach sustainable business models, green jobs, and innovation economics, like that. Actually, we have to diversify our teaching. Curricular. It has to start from curricular redesigning also, and analyze the UN Sustainable Development Goal reports, World Bank, national policy data, compare international practice with regional development strategies. All that we have to know, and digital literacy and lifelong learning, we have to encourage them, and also we need to guide the students to understand the market. We have to give them appropriate career counseling. As already mentioned, yes. See, just few minutes back, I just told about, I shared my experience with some field observation. Searching for job should not be a job. Prolonged searching for, how many years one can spend in searching for a job? Maybe a few years, 3 years, 4 years. A student is spending for 10 years just to prepare for the competitive examination. Just imagine the waste of his resources. I'm not saying that we have to discourage discourage the student to prepare for competitive examination. We have to have a kind of, we have mentorship. We could understand there may be some students who are really good at competitive examination. We could encourage them to do it. But otherwise, we have to identify the students' strengths, his capabilities. We can divert their energies towards the sectors where they will have some good opportunities. We have to shoulder that responsibility. We, the faculties, have to shoulder that responsibility. We have to do it. And with this, actually, with these few strategies, I want to share in order to align our economics to fourth industrial revolution through short-term courses for a better future. In fact, I try to identify some of the micro areas where we can towards which we can spend some of our critical thinking in designing, developing the short-term courses. It may be for certificate courses, it may be for PG diploma, or whatever that may be. It may not possible for all the faculties. For some of the faculties who are with the board of studies, or there may be some faculties from autonomous colleges. We have liberty to spend some time in designing the courses, or some of you may be members in some board of the studies. You may be having liberty. So we can think of creating courses like this. Say first, let me give some small list, some 10 to 12. I have prepared some of the short-term courses through which we can align our course to the changing industry demand. In this direction, I have prepared a small list. I wish to share this list with all of you. Say, for example, because even some effort has already been made. There are Swayam courses. There may be some of the faculties who are trying. Sometimes it may not possible to incorporate in your college. There may be some faculties who have registered in the Swayam portal in writing some, in offering some short-term courses. You can think of the courses like, say, certificate or diploma in data analytics for economics. Actually, through that, you can incorporate the skills like big data, Python, or Excel, Stata, or data visualization. Actually, it will improve the employability in the areas like business analytics, policy think tank, market research, and fintech. Actually, the emerging fintech and financial technology is a growing area. There we can do. And actually, we could have certificate in finance technology. We used to say fintech and digital banking. It's not just, you can, through this kind of things, some young faculty particularly. Actually, I'm not mean that the faculties who are at the verge of their retirement, they should not concentrate on that. But particularly, I'm focusing more on the youths, because youths who are in the age group of 30 to 40, I'm sure that this kind of traditional sustainability of the kind of traditional courses that we are training now may not have sustainability. If you want to be survive in the teaching career, we have to diversify our strategies. Here, through, for example, in this certificate in finance technology and digital banking, this could focus on skills like blockchain, digital payments, AI in finance, e-wallets, UPI economics. Through that training through these technologies, you can improve the students' employability in private banks. It may be in private or public. NBFCs, fintech startups, regulatory agencies. We can target that. And thirdly, diploma in sustainable development and green economy. It may be certificate or diploma. Short-term courses, you can focus on the skills like climate economics, renewable energy economics. If you incorporate such skills, definitely the employability of the people who get trained in such course will improve in the NGOs, UN-based projects, government sustainability program, and also in CSR projects like that. And then certificate in econometrics and AI applications. Of course, for that, only some young faculty who are get better exposure in econometrics and AI applications and who better trained in that, you can incorporate the skills like machine learning modules for economics, predictive analytics. Through that, the employability in the areas like research firms, consultancy, development organizations, you can do that. And fifthly, certificate in digital marketing and consumer analytics. Say, e-commerce economics, consumer data analysis, digital branding. Through that, so employability of our students in the marketing firms, e-commerce companies, advertisement agencies. This is the areas where we can improve the employability of our students. And not only that, certificate in agricultural economics, agri-tech. Yeah, we do know. I do know that for this kind of courses, agriculture universities are the best competitor. I know. Even there may be some faculty who are good at agricultural economics. You can train these skills like precision farming economics, agriculture finance technologies, agri fintech, supply chain analytics in agriculture. So by incorporating see, you could observe that all the areas that we are mentioning, we have not brought them into our traditional curricula because majority of our students may not that much capable to cope up all these new areas. At least you can identify some small groups who can cope up with this. And also by incorporating such small studies, you can also attract students from science background also. There should not be no bar. And, by having this kind of precision farming economics, agri-fintech, supply chain analytics, you can improve the employability of economics graduates in agriculture technology companies, rural development projects like that. And certificate in international trade, I think the things are self-explanatory. Skills like WTO, global value chain, e-trade, digital supply chains, which could improve the employability in export firms, logistic multinational companies, and diploma in health economics and big data in healthcare. Through that, you can we can train the skills like cost effectiveness in healthcare, AI in health system, AI in health systems. Of course, these are all applied in nature, and certificate in behavioral economics, of course, which is of emerging area. Another most important emerging area, neuro marketing. Through that kind of courses, we can train the skills like consumer psychology, decision making, and experimental economics. Through that, we can we can improve the employability of the students in the areas like marketing research, consulting, advertising, product design, and so on and so forth. Certificate in digital economy and platform business models. Like, as I already mentioned, now gig economy is booming now. Gig economy and analysis, platform economics, that, we can improve at least some employability in the, of course, getting employment in as a gig worker. I think skills may not be needed, but I'm explaining about the service providers through this gig economy, gig platforms, consultancy, e-business development, certificate in urban and smart city economics. See, these are the some of the just some what I wanted to do with this thing, Just I have given so much of things about. I just mentioned of we talk so much about sustainability. Actually, our survivability. I mean, survivability means all we are gathered here. Survivability of all our profession, economics teaching profession, itself depends upon sustainability of our economics. We could not make the economics more sustainable if we are in the traditional mindset. If we are if we wish to carry forward whatever traditionally we are teaching, if we wish to transfer, I mean, I know the challenges. I know the problems. I know the students' background. But if at all, if we need to make our course more sustainable and if we have to make if you have to create better future for the students who are teaching economics, we have to integrate all these things. We have to take into consideration of this changing market, changing industrial requirement, and we have to do some effort to do some effort in making in creating better future for the students who are aspiring for higher education, particularly in economics. With this, just let us have some 5 to 10 minutes of discussion. Afterwards, I could move on to the next topic. Just now, over to all the participants to have some. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond to your questions. Thank you. You can, please manage in such a way that if anybody wish to ask any question, just unmute and ask. Later asking the question, you can mute your audio, please.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah, very good afternoon, sir. May I know your name?
Sir, Sharan Kumar. Sir.
Sharan Kumar.
Yes.
Tell me, sir.
Sir, how to address the student absenteeism in higher education institutions, sir?
Students absenteeism.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where are you from, sir? Sharan Kumar, where do you from?
Sir, I am from Yadgiri district, sir. GFGC Unsagi. Yadgiri district, sir.
Yadgir district.
GFGC Unsagi.
Yeah. Just now I mentioned, in fact, I mentioned the fact that there is a new kind of culture.
Yes, sir.
Even students, you could understand. Majority of the students are enrolling for BA or MA.
Yes, sir. I noticed, sir.
Actually, their focus is not to attend regularly to the classes.
Yes,
in fact, many of the people are working as a gig worker. Many a times, the students from the poor background.
Yes, sir.
They have taken it as something like a the distance mode. I think distance mode of education may be better than this thing.
Yes.
But only thing, through these regular courses, I'm sorry to mention that some of the students, of course, if they register for regular courses, they will get the hostel. That's it. By attending this regular class, I mean, registering as a regular student, they want to do. I think many students do two things. Either they go for gig work, or they want to prepare for competitive examination where there is very rush, heavy rush.
Sir, yes.
Actually, I am really struggling hard. Even it is a practical problem for even at the post graduation level also. Only thing, there is some long term strategy wherein if we ensure that if we make our course more rigorous, more employable, definitely if they are sure that if they are very serious in completing the course, if they get if their job is secure, probably that is the only sustainable way to reduce that absenteeism in the classrooms. Otherwise, if they're in the mindset that we could not get our livelihood security through this course, even for that reason only I have given my observation pertaining to my research survey also. There also you could observe that students are not very confident. By completing this course, I could get some livelihood security, like that they are not assured. That's the
Yes.
reason why they are actually either trying for namesake, their name is registered in the graduation course.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
And either they are doing as a gig workers or they are preparing for competitive examination where they could not get. I mean, you might have seen. Very unfortunate thing is the many of the people who fail to get government employment, they have opened their own training center to train the train the job aspirant for the competitive examination.
Yeah, sir.
The
Yeah.
competitive examination training centers are busy. Okay. Even I have seen that. Now, one more new development has emerged. Some institutes are started courses on integrated modes. Integrated mode in the sense with heavy charging
Competitive.
fee, they have started they get the affiliation for the graduation course. Along with the graduation course, they are training for the competitive examination. And in that kind of institutions, students, there is heavy rush. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In one sentence, it is very difficult to give solution to address that issue. I really say that it's really a very challenging job, challenging task to all of us. Not only to you, even for me also.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions relating to it? Shall I move on to, I mean,
Sir,
yeah, please.
sir, one doubt.
Yeah,
No
please.
education is better than irrelevant education, as you said, sir. How
Pardon?
to overcome? No education is better than irrelevant education, as you mentioned, sir. How to overcome from this, sir? This is a government part only. Education is provided by the government only,
Yeah.
and how to overcome from this, sir. And one more thing that you said, searching a job cannot be a job forever. So
Yeah,
this is existing in the job in the current scenario, sir.
definitely. Actually, sir, may I know where do you from, sir? May I know your name?
Sir, I'm Krishna Kumar from Tamil Nadu, Kanyakumari.
Yeah. Krishna Kumarji, actually, the term that I used now, very recently, maybe some 2-3 months back, I was having interaction with some focused group pertaining to particularly pertaining to this career transition. In that transition, there was some village leader. He has mentioned this terminology. Sir, actually, he told in Kannada that, sir, ಈ ತರ ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬರದೇ ಇರೋ ಓದಿಗಂತೂ ಓದ್ದೇ ಇರೋ ಜನ ಓದ್ದೇ SLC ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಇಟ್.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಯಾ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. Actually, he has mentioned in Kannada. Sir, ಈ ತರ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋ, ಏನು ಓದದೇ ಇರೋ, SLC ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಈಗ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೆಲಸ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿನೂ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬಹಳ ಡೇಂಜರ್ ಅಂತ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಭಾಷೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಐ ಮೀನ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್. It's not just, actually it is a view that I got from a local leader. Through his experience, he told, in his village, many of the graduates in the age group of 35 to 40, they are they have neither the capacity to get recruited in some public or private sector jobs. They are not ready to, nor they are ready to do some agriculture or other related works. Referring to such people, see, our education is creating such mass who are neither employable nor ready to do whatever work that they could get. They are in such a situation. See, the faulty education system is creating more and more of such youths who are not economically productive, and in fact they themselves are sufferers of the changing job market. So that is considering all that. In fact, I narrated everything. I narrated the story with the background of changing technology, which is termed with the fourth industrial revolution technology, which brings change in the market, job market, in which the job market is expecting altogether different kind of skills. But education institutions, particularly in the public sector, public funded institutions, they have to follow their own procedure. They could not quickly upgrade their curriculum to meet the education needs, I mean skill needs of the industry. That has been added to that has created the problem of creating the graduates without employable skills. So in that background, I mentioned the only thing that I mentioned, the only strategy that I mentioned, we have to redesign our curriculum. We have to make our curriculum, even actually our competition should not be just to, I tell you one more thing. Actually, there is cutthroat competition in attracting the students for the course. See, cutthroat competition in attracting this, there is in our, I also served as BY's chairman for undergraduate course. In that course, almost all my BOS members, they used to advise me to reduce the syllabus in such a way that we have to attract. There must be the content in the course must be as less as possible so that we can attract the students for our course. My dear friends, I tell you, actually, even in marketing jargons, we used to tell, actually, retention is more important than the attraction. Actually, our strategy is just to attract the students for our course. But retaining the popularity of the course is being getting suffered through that process. If we have to make our course sustainable, we have to make we have to retain the satisfaction of the customers. See, our customers are our students. Actually, our customers will get satisfied about our courses only if our course is created livelihood security for them. If our course create livelihood security for their future, I'm sure that they will create positive opinion about your course. Otherwise, dissatisfied customers are propagating more negative things than whatever positive advertisement may not be possible. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. If your course failed to create livelihood security to the students, I'm sure that in the long run, such course will lose the reliability from the students. We have to consider we have to seriously consider about these things. We have to balance. We have to balance the strategy that, of course, attracting the students by making them student friendly is needed. I agree. I do agree. But making it employable is more important to retain the satisfaction among our students, which could make our course sustainable in the long run. That we have to do it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
In degree
Shall I
level,
proceed to next content and the next topic?
sir, in degree level, we want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
increase strength and more. We want to introduce skill enhancement courses, sir. Earlier, that mutual fund and LIC, they introduced in CBCS.
Yeah.
In SEP, we are introducing, sir. But more we introduce that skill enhancement and lab oriented, like mathematics or some subject introduce lab. That type you introduce in economics also. That helpful for student future and attract our subject.
Yeah,
More
I do
students.
endorse. And in fact, that's the core theme of my presentation, you know. We have to come out of the traditional mindset.
Yes, sir.
We have to more responsive to the changing industry need. Actually, even in my conclusion, just I told you, know, integrate our course into, we have to integrate in, I mean, the fourth industry, we have to create courses in such a way as to make them employable, make our student employable in the fourth industrial revolution period. That's the core message through my lecture. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
May I know your name?
Chandrasekhar, sir.
From which college?
Bagalkot University.
Yeah,
GFGC
Bagalkot. Yeah, right. Okay, Chandrasekhar.
Sir, this is Shivasharanappa.
Shivasharanappa. Where do you
Ha,
from, sir?
Sir, GFGC Sulapet, sir, Kalaburgi district, sir.
Kalburgi. Tell me, sir.
Sir, fourth industrial revolution can affect to employment in India, sir.
Pardon? Fourth generation?
Fourth industrial revolution
Huh?
can affect to employment in India, sir.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I told you, know. It has, in fact, that's what I told you, know. I told you the fact that repetitive, unskilled based jobs are getting disappearing. A new kind of course, they are bringing change in the nature of work. Definitely, it bring change in the nature of work. Obviously, it brings change in the job market nature, demand and supply. Definitely, it is going to change. That's what over the period of 1.5 hours, I told you the same thing. That it is going to affect the job market, right? Definitely, it's going on. No, it's going on.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Right.
Sir, will there be more scope for entrepreneurs then rather than being employed?
Yeah. Definitely there will be more scope for innovative entrepreneurship. Not necessarily, you need not necessarily go for opening of a big industry. You have to be innovative in the sense you have to understand the customers' needs. Even a graduates from rural area, he can start off with the agri-tourism. He can develop, he can produce organic product, organic fruits or something. You can develop an area of agri-tourism. It's a simple, that's also a kind of innovative entrepreneurship. And you might have observed, majority of the engineering graduate, I know many of the graduates from IITs, they are being turning into innovative entrepreneurs, which has more scope now. Obviously, becoming innovative entrepreneurship is more productive than searching for job, right? I do endorse your view. Thank you. Shall I proceed to next topic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually,
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
1 hour 50. I have only another
Okay.
30 minutes. Actually, I have taken almost 45 minutes more for my first topic, that is on higher education for sustainable future. I hope that I think I do agree. Our economics teachers need to be innovative faculties. Innovative faculty in the sense, I don't know. I do endorse that there is a lot of difficulties. I know the students' background also. Even I am also trying, but working in state-funded institutions where there is a lot of rigidity in bringing curriculum, designing, and all that, I do endorse with the fact that it is very difficult, but there is no option. Otherwise, maybe we are already observing the change. It is going to get accelerated. For that, we need to be prepared for facing that change. With this, just let me pass on to my next content, that is on, yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. This second topic is on Sustainable Development Goal 10, which is on reduced inequality. Actually, I have taken it as it is. In the list of Sustainable Development Goal, there is the goal called reduced inequality. With respect to this, equality, just I wish to present my views, my understanding on the present status of equity, and I wish to share my views on what are the challenges in bringing about equity in the economy, and I just at the end I wish to speak about something about strategies for bringing equity in the I'm not using the word economy, because the concept of equity is not just limited to the economy. In fact, the concept of equality, it broader, and it goes behind the scope of that economics also. It involves the equality in social equity, equity in. Let me start my presentation with what is the rationality for Sustainable Development Goal 10, that is reduced inequality. Why it is important? First thing is, first thing is actually this, as we know, any kind of inequality, it weakens the growth by limiting the opportunities for the marginalized groups, whatever that may be the domain. It may be in social domain or in economics domain, whatever that may be. And inclusive societies, it will strengthen the political stability, and as well as sustainable development, and equal access to opportunities like equal access to education and healthcare. Definitely, it improves the productivity and social mobility of the people of the country. And this, if there is high inequality, obviously that high degree of inequality, it will add to the poverty, unemployment. Not only that, and also it may result in social unrest. This in that background, redistributive policies, they ensure fair sharing of the resources and benefits, which we considered as social justice. And of course, gender equality contributes for the balanced economic growth, bridging the digital divides that could ensure everyone benefited from the technological growth that is being witnessing in the contemporary situation. And this global inequality reduction that supports peace and stronger international cooperation. So this is just the rationality for reducing the inequality and having this thing, reduction of inequality, as one of the goals in the sustainability, in the list of sustainable development goals. Yeah, I think just now mentioned reduced inequality. What are the kind of inequalities which are to be reduced? You know, there are many different kinds of inequalities which need to be reduced. It includes, first of all, economic inequality. This economic inequality, as all of you know, it refers to unequal distribution of income and wealth, as well as the opportunities. We know that a small, just I think yesterday in yesterday's one of the newspaper, I think most of you may be in that WhatsApp group. Somebody has shared only 10% of the richest people are owning about 77% of the wealth of the nation. I think somebody has shared it in yesterday's some group, economics group only. And a small, I think we have also have rural-urban divide. I think almost all the opportunities are concentrated in urban economy. Rural mass is suffering from lot of deprivations. We have also the problem of regional imbalances, regional inequalities. Development is concentrated only in certain part of the nation. It may be with a different state, it may be with a different district within the state, and it may be, see, we cannot compare development process that is being going on in Bangalore city vis-a-vis the development in other part of the nation. And and also there are gender inequality. Gender inequality, we know, actually earlier there was a lot of stress on gender equality, gender inequality. Actually, looking at the present day circumstance, gender inequality may not look more attractive. If you are there in the 1980s and 1990s, you could have analyzed, you could have really realized the importance of gender inequality, the problems associated with the gender inequality. In fact, when we were students, and I was a postgraduate student in 1991. In my own classroom, there were only some 3-4 girls. All the remaining were male. The female were deprived of all education and employment and healthcare deprivations were there for female gender. But of course now, I think we must, being in India, actually, as far as gender equality is concerned, we are really achieved a lot of progress in this aspect. As far as caste inequality is concerned, historically rooted in the caste system, leading to discrimination against some segments of population like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and OBCs, which has limited the social mobility. Of course, here also, though there are some visible improvements in eliminating the caste-based inequality, they are in the different form. Still, we have, we come across the discrimination based on caste in different forms. They have taken the different shape now. The shape of the discriminations based on caste was whatever discriminations are there now, it is definitely much different from what was there maybe some 2-3 decades back. And educational inequality, unequal access to quality education due to economic background. We used to tell, no doubt. Now, I do agree that there are good opportunities now, even for the poorest of the poor, rural student. We have the system in place, but who could get better access to the better quality education. But still now, say for example, just now I mentioned adaptable education institutions, education institutions which have adapted for the change, education institutions which are not adapted for the change. The education institution which have adapted for the change, maybe it is more with the institutions like IITs, some premier NITs, some other premier education institutions, maybe some the institutions which are providing medical education. Whether this entry to this institution, can we say that there is equal opportunity to all the people to get entry into this? See, legally, constitutionally, there are equal opportunities. But just to get entry to that institutions, you need to be better trained. That better training is taking place outside the, only the people with the better economic resources, better opportunity, information access, they have the better opportunity to get entry into such premier education institutions. So still today, the access to better quality education, there is no level playing field where all the, people of all the social strata could compete equally. There are certain deprivations which are acting as a limiting force to get entry into such the highly education institutions where the quality of highly quality education is being provided. And also there are issues pertaining to health inequality, unequal access to healthcare facilities, sanitation and nutrition. No doubt public health care, we have very good healthcare system, no doubt. Public healthcare system, we have very good public healthcare infrastructure. But just if you are to understand the access to better quality healthcare, we have to visit public healthcare facilities and their infrastructure. Of course, yeah, in fact, I do accept this COVID has made public healthcare institutions more attractive, but still quality healthcare is not equally accessible to all strata of the society. And now if you have the money, even you can bargain with your, what is that, longevity. That is the condition where we are living in. So these are some of the inequalities, but let me focus more on economic inequality. As far as economic inequality is concerned, let me share my, this is the graph which shows through World Inequality Report 2022. It just highlight the bottom 50% per capita annual income of Indians. Bottom 50% of Indians, the annual per capita income of bottom 50% of population is 71,000 in the year 2022-23, whereas top 1% annual per capita income is 53 lakhs per annum. It is the income level of top 1% of the people. Yeah. See, there is no, obviously, even you can go for, you can come across a lot of research studies which have adopted different methodologies, they have come out with the fact that there is skew distribution of income and wealth in the Indian economy. If we try to list the reasons for economic inequality, we can find good number of reasons for that. First and foremost, there is unequal access to education, which creates skill gap, limiting the opportunity for the poor, and wealth concentration in the top groups widens the gap between the rich and poor. Technological advancements, they benefit the skilled workers, but they displace the unskilled laborers, affecting the livelihood security of the poorest of the poor. Urban-rural divide, restrict the income opportunity for the rural households. Actually, economic opportunities, I mean, see, you might have seen the proportion of people living in the urban areas, of course, compared to the developed countries, still the level of urbanization is less in our country. But still, rural-urban migration stream is very dominating one. The proportion of urban population is growing because of better opportunities in urban economy. And informal employment dominance leaves workers with low wage. Actually, only smaller proportion of our population is working in the formal employments. The informal employment is dominating, where all the problems are concentrated. And inheritance of the properties and asset, they perpetuates generational wealth inequality. That's another reason. And regional disparities in infrastructure and investment disparities, they cause unequal growth across the regions. And also the tax system, I mean, the loopholes in the tax system are also contributing for the unequal distribution of income and wealth. Actually, I wish to give elaborate explanation on technological advancement, urban-rural divide, tax system loopholes, how they are contributing to the unequal distribution of income and wealth. Before that, first let me explain about the status. What is the trends in the distribution of income? Actually, you could observe that this data is from World Inequality Database, which explains the average share of income owned by or average share of income across the different economic groups. Actually, these economic groups have been classified into three groups. Average share of income of bottom 50% of population, average share of income of top 10% of population, average share of income of top 1% of population. You could analyze this data, you could analyze this table, and it is also been captured in this graph. You could observe that this this blue line, it is indicating the average income, percentage of share of income owned by the bottom 50% of the population. Actually, this red line, it indicates the proportion of income owned by the population at the 10% population at the top. And this green line, it indicates the income, proportion of income owned by the top 1%, richest 1% of the population. You could observe this line, which represents the income owned by the bottom 50%, it is being declining. Particularly the rate of decline getting accelerated after 1991. That is after this introduction of LPG. Actually, the introduction of the LPG is the one, in fact, from where this the magnitude of unequal distribution of income and wealth is getting accelerated after that point. and the proportion of income owned by the top 1% of people exponentially growing right from the 1991. Up to 1991, you could observe there are fluctuations. That is the period where actually our economy was following a kind of socialistic pattern of policies, where focus was more on the distributive aspect of income. Whereas, and also similarly, we could also observe this is the table and the graph which are revealing average share of wealth by economic groups. Same average share of wealth by wealth owned by the bottom 50%, top 10%, and also top 1%. Here also you could observe from 1991 onwards, the skewness of the distribution is getting aggravated. The poor are becoming more and more poor. Rich are becoming more and more rich. This trend is going on for the last almost some 35 to 40 years. It is being getting aggravated over the years. And as I already mentioned, I think LPG was the initiation of liberalization, privatization, globalization. In fact, it is the point from where the inequality in the distribution of income and wealth getting aggravated, as shown by the data. And what are the reasons? Why is that the LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization has increased that inequality in India? It's mainly because this unequal benefit of liberalization. This liberalization favored corporate houses and high-income groups more favorably, leaving the small farmers and laborers behind this benefit. I mean, they are not get the better share of this benefit. Privatization has reduced secure and public sector jobs, widening the gap between the organized and unorganized workers' earning opportunities. Added to that, this globalization boosted information technology and service sectors, but traditional sectors like agriculture, they are lagging behind. Probably you might have observed. The share of income of the farmers is getting reduced over the decades, particularly after the introduction of this LPG. And all this, LPG, actually it focused more on industry and service, which are urban focused. In fact, urban, service sector, of course, service industry concentrated more in urban economy. Similarly, manufacturing sector also. They are both contributing more and more to the rural-urban divide. If you compare the rural-urban divide with respect to basic economic indicators, things are much clear. See, urban economy is having better access to the infrastructure, development indicators, all that, and skill-based, skill-biased growth. This rewarded educated workers, that too, not just educated workers. High professionals have more potential. One Sundar Pichai can earn the earnings of thousands of people. Now we feel, I mean, I'm not, that is the potential. It is their potential. The technology is based such highly skilled people who got better opportunity to earn more. Their salary package may be equivalent to the earnings of a village, more than a village, more maybe equivalent to a taluk, earnings of the farmers of earnings of a small taluk. It has favored that highly skilled growth rewarded such a highly professionals, and decline of small industry from, see, this global competition, it almost, it has the small scale industries have, cottage industries have disappeared. From that global competition, low performing small industries have disappeared. See, this competition, obviously, that's true that it is obviously true that in the competitive economy, inefficients will find their path out. Efficient will survive. Only when few efficients are surviving in the economy, they are earning, not only they are earning, opportunities are growing, but they are becoming more and more rich. It's natural law. And there is rising wage disparities. See, just compare annual salary package of Sundar Pichai with the rest of the average earnings of the people. There are many such people whose salary package is so high that thousands of people cannot match their earnings. So the technology need of high professional skills has created such opportunities, such few people who can become easily they can become multi-billionaires. Opportunity has created to such people. Market has created such opportunities to such people. So this is how this LPG has created, aggravated this inequality in the distribution of income and wealth. And added to that, recently, for the last 10 years, added to that LPG, the fourth industrial revolution technology has also contributed to this. Automation and artificial intelligence may replace the low-skilled jobs, reducing opportunities for workers in traditional sectors. High-skilled bias, it favors techno-savvy, high professional skilled people who could earn the earnings which is equivalent to the earnings of the thousands people. Because they can contribute to the idea. The idea is is as productive as the productivity of the thousands of people. So that's what I did. It is the ideas they are dominating in the economy. That's the service economy. Knowledge. That's the reason why we are saying that our economy is becoming more and more knowledge economy. The knowledge, you are more knowledgeable with better ideations. You have more power, more potentiality, opportunities, could earn more. And digital divide, it widens the income gaps between the rural poor and urban rich. Technology access is not even. Access to the technology is unequally distributed across in the nation. Actually, economy is moving more and more towards of gig nature. Earlier, some 10 years back, we were speaking of, our economy is knowledge economy. Now, we have to start speaking about our economy is gig economy. Gig economy, it creates flexible work conditions. Now, there is no kind of, you are not recruiting the employee to do work. You are hiring your job to somebody. Task-based employment. We are moving towards that. But you conduct, in fact, one of my scholars is working on gig economy. If we analyze the earning opportunity of the gig workers, this gig working condition itself, it is a platform-based economy. An individual with innovative mindset, he create a platform. Through that platform, let's say, for example, Ola and Uber. There are lakhs and lakhs of taxi service providers registered for that. Maybe some up to 5% of their thousands and lakhs of Ola workers is being grabbed by one individual. He brought that innovative idea. So that innovative idea has the potential to grow so much. So gig economy has contributed that. And unequal access to education and training, just as I mentioned. Urban-centric growth. Even fourth industrial revolution technology is highly favor or is urban concentrated economy. And this fourth industrial revolution technology is also capital intensive technology. I tell you honestly, the productivity, capital is more productive. See, this fourth industrial revolution technology increased the share of capitalist because capital become more productive under this technology. And whereas it has reduced the production potential of the labor. Even this technology has this technology reduced the human intervention to a greater extent. See, for majority of the people, labor was the only earning opportunity. If the labor earning opportunity has disappeared, what is the earning opportunity of millions and millions of people? It has added to the unequal distribution of income and wealth in the economy. So that way, this fourth industrial revolution is being aggravating the skewness of the income distribution in the economy. Added to that, our tax system, there are certain loopholes in the system. We have good system, no doubt. There are certain loopholes, not loopholes. We have such system wherein we have given opportunity for tax evasion avoidance by wealthy individuals, which has reduced the government revenues. Say, for example, let me give one example. See, agriculture income tax is exempted. Just have the critical thinking about it. Whether the exemption of agriculture income tax is really benefited the farmers. In fact, if we analyze it from the close and if we take the in-depth analysis of it, in fact, this exemption of agriculture income tax, it benefit more to the professionals. It help more to the professional than to agriculture farmers themselves, because in this system there is a good scope for converting black money. Say for example, a business person earning crores and crores of rupee from hotel business, he can invest it in real estate, if some farm land. See, he can create, by purchasing a farmland to 1 crore rupee, he could show the record for only some 10 lakhs or so, only for the registered amount. He can easily convert maybe large proportion of his black earnings into white asset. See, in that way, there are ways. Even real estate. Real estate is the one. Actually, we are speaking so much about black money. See, we have good opportunity to park the black money into white asset. There are ways. Capital gains. So these are the things I think. Yeah, still I have lot of other things. I think I'm going out of my time. I think I know that some of the participants are looking at your time. I know. I don't know your engagements. I think this class was scheduled up to 5 o'clock now. I think now it is 5. Still I have many other things to share. I think I share this. I think one more thing, you could observe this. Over the last, I will end up my presentation with the presentation of this skill, presentation of this graph. You just observe this. Here, over the last 25 years, you could observe. Up to 2010, the share of as far as direct tax is concerned, corporate tax was rising. But from after 1910 onwards, the share of corporate tax is being declining, whereas share of personal income tax is growing. See, it is a event to the corporates who are earning huge amount of money. And even another, you can on the right side you could observe the share up to 2010, the share of indirect tax has been continuously declining. But after that, it has turned into increasing trend, whereas direct tax ratio was increasing. But direct tax, the share of direct tax has been declining from 2010. So these are some of the factors which are making rich more rich and the poor more poor. So with this, I share the slides with the organizers. You can go through the contents that I have given. With this, I think if anybody wish to have interaction, you can unmute and you can ask questions. I'm sorry, I could not complete my task of completing this presentation.